9:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Hope you're having a great day. Tuesday, February 25th. It's actually my nephew Ben's birthday today. So, what up, Ben? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We are live on Super Talk TV, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, my personal favorite, YouTube, where we always ask that you like and subscribe and you join the chat, join the conversation, either on YouTube or on the Super Text line, the phone line, 615-737-9986. We got a big show for you today, a lot of wins to celebrate. First and foremost, Trump bringing back the Keystone XL pipeline. Ooh, sign me up. He posted on Truth Social last night, our country's doing really well. And today, I was just thinking, just deep thoughts with Donald Trump. Like, I picture him just sitting there. You know, he hit the Diet Coke button, and now he has about 30 seconds to kill. So he's sitting there, and he's deep in thought, and he realizes that Keystone XL pipeline would be pretty dope. So he says, our country's doing really well. And today, I was just thinking that the company building the Keystone XL pipeline that was viciously jettisoned by the incompetent Biden administration should come back to America and get it built now. I know they were treated very badly by Sleepy Joe Biden, but the Trump administration is very different. Easy approvals, almost immediate start. If not them, perhaps another pipeline company. We want the Keystone XL pipeline built. And for that, Mr. President, I say thank you. It does seem like Donald Trump is getting a lot of things moving in a lot of areas. You've seen these major investments from companies. Either they're in Japan or different countries, and they'll come out and they'll say, listen, we wouldn't have made this investment without Trump. This just seems to be another example of that. Apple has actually signed up to make a massive investment as well. This one's huge. $500 billion over the next, over the next 4 years. Insane. Apple's committing, this is from Fox Business. Apple is committing $500 billion to the U.S. economy in a historic initiative the company announced on Monday, marking an extraordinary new chapter in the history of American innovation. So Apple's 11-figure commitment will roll out over the next 5 years. Did I say 4? 5 years. So $500 billion over 5 years. $100 billion with a B every year for the next 5 years. They say will involve building an advanced AI server manufacturing factory near Houston, as well as doubling the company's advanced manufacturing fund from $5 billion to $10 billion. The tech giant also plans to establish an Apple Manufacturing Academy in Detroit, as well as hire 20,000 new employees with focuses on research and development, silicon engineering, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. I got a soft spot in my heart for Detroit. Like, it's an awful city run by awful people. And I love it. I just love it. I do. It's one of those weird things. When I lived in Detroit, it was like this vibe in the city of like, yeah, today's awful, but tomorrow's going to be better. And that was so persistent that when I moved to Pittsburgh after I lived in Detroit, I was like, wow, this is so much better than Detroit. Everybody's like, it's awful. The city sucks. It's never getting better. And you'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, you have a really nice city. They'd be like, steel mills aren't coming back. And it's like, it was just like this negative attitude. Detroit, to me, always had the complete opposite. It had like this unrelenting positivity and just this waiting to be crowned comeback story. And maybe Apple's going to be a part of that as the tech giant plans to establish the Apple Manufacturing Academy in Detroit. Maybe they'll be a part of it. Maybe we'll get, another 20 years down the road and we'll say, wow, Detroit is still a hellhole. I mean, it's definitely within the realm of possibilities. But I like that Apple's doing this. And hey, good investment on Apple's part. You can certainly get some good real estate in Detroit at a not a premium price. So let's just put it that way. Apple is also planning to expand teams and facilities in numerous states, including Michigan, Texas, California, Arizona, Nevada, Iowa, North Carolina, and Washington. In a statement, Apple CEO Tim Cook said that the company is bullish on the future of American innovation. I feel like more people are bullish on Donald Trump and his administration. He said, we're proud to build on our longstanding U.S. investments with this $500 billion commitment to our country's future. From doubling our advanced manufacturing fund to building advanced technology in Texas, we're thrilled to expand our support for American manufacturing. And we'll keep working with people and companies across this country to help write an extraordinary new chapter in the history of American innovation. I say this is awesome, but it also highlights how little Joe Biden was actually doing, how little the Democrats actually did. Were they in the chats as well? We'll get to those chat logs that were discovered via the NSA, where employees were talking about all sorts of just wild sexual kinks and fantasies and fetishes. It's downright disgusting. I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's just downright disgusting. But is that what they were doing in the Biden administration all day long? Were there more of these chats? Because I look at the Trump administration, we're a month in, and the amount of actual work that's getting done is mind-blowing. And it just highlights how little the Biden administration got done. So little. Nothing. They didn't do anything. And the wins keep stacking up for the Trump administration. They just keep stacking up. Yesterday, the Associated Press, they lost their lawsuit against Donald Trump. They lost it. They were suing him over the whole removal because they were dead naming the Gulf of America, and we couldn't let that stand. So we said, you're not allowed in anymore. And AP said, well, we're gonna sue you, and Trump said, lawsuits fall off me like rain on an otter. Like it's just right off the back. Like what are you doing? And now we've learned that AP has lost. A judge sided with the White House in the Associated Press case, declines to temporarily restore full access. Oh, so sad. So sad. And then Trump and his administration, they went with a little bit of trolling. And when you walked into the White House press briefing room yesterday, on the two big monitors on the left and right side of the podium was a huge map. It said Gulf of America. Gulf of America. Yeah, Gulf of America. Federal judge declined to restore the Associated Press access to the Oval Office, Air Force One in Mar-a-Lago after the outlet brought suit against the White House press secretary, Karen Leavitt, Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, and her Deputy Chief of Staff, Taylor Budowich. The outlet claimed that their exclusion from those press venues was a violation of their First Amendment rights. However, U.S. District Judge Trevor McFadden disagreed, declining to temporarily lift the ban while the lawsuit plays out in courts. CNN reported President Donald Trump, per the White House response to the AP suit, was personally involved in the decision to revoke the special status that AP had had for many years. He called their work dishonest reporting, and his anger was raised when AP refused to use the term Gulf of America in their reporting. The outlet preferred the old term, Gulf of Mexico. Again, if you've been paying attention to the last 4 years under Joe Biden, that's what you call dead naming, and that's something that we're not allowed to do, okay? It's very bad. Very bad to do the dead naming, so don't. McFadden scheduled a hearing for March 20th to hear the AP's case for a preliminary injunction. The White House has responded to the AP suit, saying that the Associated Press continues to enjoy general media access to White House press facilities. This case, they went on to say, is not prohibiting the Associated Press from entering White House grounds, nor is it prohibiting the Associated Press from attending briefings in the James S. Brady briefing room or using other press facilities at the White House. Instead, this case is about the Associated Press losing special media access to the president, a quintessentially discretionary presidential choice that infringes no constitutional right. Sorry, deal with it. You lost. You're going to lose officially very, very soon. Deal with it. The White House response then went on to show that the AP's reporting has not declined since being removed from that special access circle. They have continued to cover briefings and events from the Oval Office and Air Force One using pool reports. Presidents historically provide this special access to the Associated Press, but that discretionary choice does not create a constitutional right. Just as the president need not furnish a personal interview to all journalistic comers, the president has discretion to decide who will have special media access to exclusive events within the Oval Office, the White House responded. The judge, McFadden, concurred, saying that he did not see how the AP faced irreparable harm, as they claimed, over no longer having intimate access to Trump. He said, as did the White House response, that the AP can get the same information from the pool reporters and cameras. The renaming of the body of water of the to the Gulf of America was likely inspired by a friend of the show, Jack Posobiec's brother, Kevin Posobiec. Have you seen that? Apparently, Jack Posobiec's brother was out for a jog, or he was out on the Gulf of America about a month or two before all this went down. He said, wow, I was just thinking we should rename this to the Gulf of America. That's where they're saying the credit's now going. Kevin Posobiec, Jack Posobiec's brother. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's real in my mind. It's real to me, damn it. So that's what I'm going with.
It's our U.S. headcanon.
Yes. I want to know what he's gonna rename next. He's got good ideas.
The Eiffel Tower is the new Trump Tower.
There was a statement from the White House on the victory against the Associated Press. As we've said from the beginning, asking the President of the United States questions in the Oval Office and aboard Air Force One is a privilege granted to journalists, not a legal right. We stand by our decision to hold the fake news accountable for their lies, and President Trump will continue to grant unprecedented level of access to the press. This is the most transparent administration in history. I just love that they just come out and dunk on him a little bit. Hey, you could always check, the videos and do your reporting that way. You can check the pool reports. Get your reporting that way. Deal with it. And you see all this happening. Is it a shock to you that voters are saying that Trump is doing better than Biden? It's not a shock to me. Not a shock to me one tiny bit. 58% of voters, actually, according to the new Harvard-Harris poll, 58% of voters say Trump is doing a better job than Biden. I like polls when they tell me what I like, and I call them fake news when they tell me what I don't. But in this case, I like this one. A new poll conducted around 1 month into the Trump administration has found that American voters overwhelmingly support the steps of this administration has taken since entering office, including the deportation of criminal illegal immigrants and eliminating waste in the federal government. I don't know why anybody would argue against eliminating waste in the federal government. I don't know why the Democrats are choosing this as the hill to die on. It sounds just dumb, a bit out of touch. And you had a lot of people coming over from the middle, right? RFK bros. You had crunchy granola moms. You had a lot of people in the middle decide we're voting for Trump this time. And I'd argue that DOGE is a big reason for that. And these cuts that they're making, they're awesome. They're awesome. I will say this, though. Did you see what happened at was it HUD yesterday, Housing and Urban Development? Okay, so this may be one of the best forms of resistance I've seen out of the Democrats. And you got to give credit where credit is due, okay? I don't often praise the Democrats, the leftists, the radicals, but in this situation, I will. So yesterday, at the Department of Housing and Urban Development, at their headquarters, they have all these screens on the wall, right? Kind of like the one behind me, if you're watching on Super Talk TV, where they display announcements and things of that nature. Yesterday, at the Department of Housing and Urban Development, those monitors were hacked. They were hacked by some radical leftist, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It said "Long live the king." Okay, that was the long live the real king. Okay, and that's the text, and then it was an AI video of Trump kissing and licking Elon's feet. Hilarious, right?
That's wild.
Right? That is hilarious. I don't care that it was against our guy. It's stupid funny. A lot of times we say the left can't meme. Listen, bravo, whoever came up with that. I thought it was hysterical.
It's impressive.
They couldn't figure out how to undo the hack either. Which is even funnier. So they couldn't figure out how to undo the hack. So then they essentially sent the maintenance guy to go unplug the monitors. Hilarious. Have you seen the picture of it?
I haven't, and I don't know if I want to, but that's great in theory.
I mean, the video version of it is so funny. That's Trump amazing. Is going to town on Elon's toes. But, when you find out what these government employees have been talking about while on the clock, it's not a shock that they had fantasies of Trump licking the toes of Elon Musk. Not one bit. We'll talk about those fantasies and those chats on the way. Huge story from Christopher Rufo, what the NSA has been doing on your dime.
Salacious and creepy.
Salacious and creepy. Although not as bad as other things the NSA does. I mean, listen, every minute that they spent in the chat log was a minute they weren't spying on you and I. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. We'll talk about those NSA chat logs when we return. It's 9:21 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Did you know you're overpaying for your health and wellness products?
With over 20 company-owned brands offering its members vitamins, supplements, wellness, and skincare products, you're able to save up to 70% off retail.
Members Nutrition can't change your life, but we can change the way you live.
Homeland Security agents rush to a local middle school this morning. We'll tell you what's going on there. President Trump taps a Tennessee native for his pardon czar. Those stories coming up at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Love the pardon czar story and can't wait for that. Joan Jones in the dust-encrusted news closet, bringing some bangers on the way, 9:30. It's 9:26 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. If you're watching the show on Super Talk TV, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and my personal favorite over on YouTube, I made Mason get a picture of the Trump-Elon toe scandal. So this is over at the Office of Housing and Urban Development, the Department of HUD, and they hacked the video monitors. Somebody did, and they posted this picture. Is it right here? They posted this picture. And
it's next to you like a wall.
And it's right there.
Yeah.
And it's Trump just going to town on the toes of Elon Musk.
And it's a video originally, right?
It's a video. It's an AI video. And I mean, like, he's like licking between the toes and all that in the video.
We've come a long way from Will Smith eating spaghetti and AI.
It is so funny, man. Like, again, I don't often tip my hat to the Democrats. Most of the time, the left can't meme. This is funny.
That's really funny.
This is funny. We got to have fun. They're having fun. I'm looking at it. Oh, my gosh.
It's something else, man.
It is something different. I hope that the guy that did it doesn't get in trouble. This one's just funny.
Yeah. It was all for amusement. I mean, to us, it was amusement. I don't know.
I thought it was hysterical. And then when you see what these guys are doing on company time, this is probably not the worst thing that they could have an employee doing.
Oh, absolutely.
We've heard about these chats leaking out of the NSA, and there's now a new report that the NSA is confirming an investigation into employees' secret sex chats. Oh. There's actually pretty nasty stuff. The National Security Agency confirmed it's investigating secret sex chats that several employees have been taking part in during the workday.
During the workday? That's not on company time.
During the workday.
No.
Christopher Rufo broke this whole thing, and it's wild. He's a contributing editor with City Journal, and he revealed that an NSA spokesman had confirmed the authenticity of the secret sex chat, so it's real, and that the agency was taking administrative action against the employees who had reportedly abused the system. Reportedly. Allegedly, we think they may have. The agency put an enormous amount of trust in people allowed to use government systems. There is an expectation for full compliance with all of the laws and policies clearly stated on all those systems. We are continuing to look into this issue. We're taking actions against any and all employees who abuse this system. So a former NSA employee and a current NSA employee provided chat logs from the NSA's Interlink messaging program. So think about it like AIM for glow-in-the-dark agents, right? It's just AOL Instant Messenger for shadowy figures. And over at the NSA, they were using that to talk about a myriad of things. One popular chat topic was male-to-female transgender surgery. which you know what it is, right? Like, take a little bit off the top, and then you turn it inside out, and then you got what you got. That's it's honestly pretty much how it works. It's just like not as scientific as one would like, but that's how it works. These employees also discussed hair removal, estrogen injections, and the experience of sexual pleasure post-castration.
Oh, gosh.
I know. And with that, here's the news with Joan Jones.
Well, hello there. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories here at 9:30. A bomb threat caused Greenbrier Middle School in Robertson County to be placed on lockdown this morning. It started around 8:15. Homeland Security agents responded there along with the local police, and they swept the campus. They found nothing. The lockdown has been lifted now, and police are working to find the person who made that threat. Now, among the Republicans who are voting no on the House bill being presented in the House of Representatives, Tennessee's Tim Burchett. He says that bill does not reduce spending enough. Still, House Speaker Mike Johnson believes he can swing Burchett and two other Republicans into voting yes this week.
This is a prayer request. Just pray this through for us because it is very high stakes, and everybody knows that. If you're a small business owner, this is a very challenging time because you don't know what to expect. The markets don't know what to expect. The bond market doesn't know what to expect. So putting that clarity in as early as possible is critical. So the way to do that is with one big, beautiful bill.
Now, that bill calls for $1.5 trillion in spending cuts and more than $4 trillion in tax cuts. Republicans can only afford to lose just one vote to advance anything, and House GOP leaders are holding a press conference about that budget vote right now. President Trump has appointed Tennessee native Alice Johnson as his so-called pardon czar. You may remember her from 2018 when Trump pardoned her after a high-profile campaign from Kim Kardashian. Well, now she is doing the same for others.
I advocated for them right in the Oval Office. It wasn't me sending him a list. He wanted me to come and meet with him and talk to him. Even when we was on Air Force One, I flown on Air Force One with him. And while on Air Force One, he told his wife, Melania, he said, Alice just convinced me to set 5 people free. Can you believe that?
Johnson also working on programs that help people get engaged in society after being released from prison. That's the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
For many of us, generators are becoming a must-have household appliance. From unpredictable weather to surprise outages, it's better to be safe than sorry. Generator Supercenter of Nashville offers fast and easy installations with 24/7 service and monitoring to all brands of generators and expert repairs done right. Our mission is to make owning a backup generator simple and easy. Visit your local store today or check us out online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
37 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Those guys are helping us be live over there on Super Talk TV, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and our personal favorite, YouTube. Shout out to everybody in the YouTube chat. Hit like and subscribe while you're there. We're trying to add more elements to the video stream. Like, for instance, when HUD was hacked, and they posted a video of Trump and Elon, and it said, "Long live the real king," and Trump was licking the toes of Elon. I thought it was hilarious, so we had the picture up.
It's back up.
On the YouTube stream. So we're trying to add that extra element there that you don't get on the radio. There's some things you get on the radio that you don't get on the YouTube stream and vice versa, but we're trying to elevate the game all around, and we appreciate you tuning in, however you're tuning in. And we want to see you. We got a big party happening. Nashville Palace, March 4th. Murphy's going to be there starting at 3 o'clock. And then the rest of us are going to roll in like 4 or 5-ish. Myself, Mandis, Benson, Joan Jones, Ken Weaver. And just announced yesterday, Brian Wilson's going to be making a drive-by appearance. I'm here for it.
Let's go.
So the whole squad, the whole gang is back together. Everybody's excited, and we want you there. Tickets on sale now, 997WTN.com. You get access to a whole buffet, reserved seating, drink tickets, and more. 997WTN.com. We want to see you at the Nashville Palace on March 4th. It's going to be an absolute party. First time that we've hung out since Trump was inaugurated.
Since the big election.
And definitely the first time we've hung out since we found out what the NSA's been doing.
Fool.
Like, if you ever ask somebody, like, what does the NSA do? Like, well, they spy on you. And they're engaged in secret sex chats at work. Honestly, I made the comment earlier, and I do believe this. I believe this wholeheartedly. Every minute an NSA employee is spending in a secret sex chat is a minute they can't be spying on you. I do think this is a net positive. I do.
But just remember, it's what our tax dollars are paying for.
This is what, listen, I'd rather pay for that. I would.
Pay attention to each other, not me.
So the story was broke by Christopher Rufo over at City Journal. And I want to bring you the City Journal story. There may be pauses as I'm trying to figure out what word to edit out and what word to replace it with, okay? So just bear with me because these do get a bit graphic. The intelligence community is one of the most powerful parts of the American national security apparatus. In theory, it works tirelessly to keep the nation safe. But according to internal documents that we obtained, some intelligence agency employees have another on-the-job priority: sex chats. It's just, what did Biden do to this government? What did he do? Sex chats. We have cultivated sources within the National Security Agency, one current employee and one former employee, who have provided chat logs from the NSA's Interlink messaging program. According to the NSA press official, all NSA employees sign agreements stating that publishing non-mission related material on Interlink is a usage violation and will result in disciplinary action. Nonetheless, these logs, dating back 2 years, are lurid, featuring wide-ranging discussions of sex, kink, polyamory, and even castration. One popular chat topic was male-to-female transgender surgery, which involves surgically removing the male part and turning it into an artificial female part. Mine is everything, said one man who claimed to have had gender reconstruction surgery. I found that I like being blanked. Never liked it before GRS, gender reassignment surgery. But all the rest is just as important as well. Another intelligence official boasted that genital surgery allowed him to wear leggings or bikinis without having to wear a gaff under it. Sorry. I know. The employees discussed hair removal, estrogen injections, and the experience of sexual pleasure post-castration. Getting my blank hole zapped by a laser was shocking, said one transgender identifying Intel employee who spent thousands on hair removal.
Oh my gosh.
You have those in program so they can hear it on the stream, right?
Yeah.
All right, good. Look, I just enjoy helping other people experience boobs, said another about estrogen treatments.
Sorry.
One of the weirdest things that gives me euphoria is when I pee. These are government employees putting your tax dollars to good use. Again, every minute they're in the chat log is a minute they can't be spying on you and me.
True.
So we have to take this, it's a double-edged sword here.
Take it with a massive handful of salt.
Massive handful of salt. There's just all the salt. It's a box of salt, kosher salt, like the big box of Morton's.
The big pink Himalayan
You know
salt.
what I mean? Where you have like the metal spout. That's the kind of salt we need. And we may need a salt truck by the end of this segment. The revelations came at a moment of heightened scrutiny for the intelligence community. President Donald Trump, Defense Secretary Hegseth, and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard have each made the case that the intelligence agency have gone woke, prioritizing left-wing activism over national security. These chat logs confirm their suspicions and raise fundamental questions about competence and professionalism. Gone woke. Is it woke to have euphoria when you pee? I don't know. I'm still these definitions are always evolving, aren't they? According to our sources, this is from the City Journal again. Okay, this is Chris Rufo, his reporting, which broke this story overnight. Massive story. According to our sources, the sex chats were legitimized as part of the NSA's commitment to, you guessed it, diversity, equity, and inclusion. I don't know which one the euphoria about peeing fits under, but I know it is one of those three. Diversity, equity, or inclusion.
You sure about that?
I am, and I think I would. Smart money's on inclusion.
Yeah, probably. That's the best guess.
Smart money's on inclusion.
Best guess.
All right, so activists within the agency used LGBTQ plus employee resource groups to turn their kinks and pathologies into official work duties. According to the current NSA employee, these groups spent all day recruiting activists and holding meetings with such titles as privilege, ally awareness, pride, and transgender community inclusion. Yeah, I was probably right about the inclusion one being the smart money. And they did so with the full support of NSA leadership, which declared that DEI was not only mission critical, but mission imperative. So when we read you some of these chat logs, remember this. Mission imperative. In this case, diversity was a byword for racialism, but rather a euphemism for sex talk. And last January, chat room members discussed the practice of polyamory, or ethical non-monogamy. A polycule is a polyamorous group, one employee explained. A is my girlfriend, and B through G are her partners. Then B and C are dating, but not C and D or E, nor F or G with any of the others. I don't know what that means. So it's like a group of 9 people, and then like we have like Sally, Jill, Christina, and then Mark is dating Sally, and then Christina and Jill are dating, but then I don't know. I have no idea. Another employee claimed to be part of a 9-member polycule, adding that some of our friends are practically polymers with all the connected compounds. Apparently there was a lot of talk about connecting compounds. At other times, the conversations became explicit, as if they weren't already. The active source of the NSA claimed to have witnessed hundreds of sexually provocative discussions, which he added occurred mostly on taxpayer time. The former NSA source who was familiar with the chats recalled being disgusted by a particularly shocking thread discussing weekend gangbangs. So, not just for the Laverne Police Department anymore. No. What? The NSA source also raised the question of some staffers' mental fitness for the job. In one chat, an NSA employee using it pronouns in lieu of the human he or she pronouns. Its user here, while I understand we can make some people uncomfortable, keep in mind that the dehumanizing aspect either A, doesn't apply, or B, is positive feedback we're requesting.
Sorry, you're saying it's.
It's. A commenter who disagreed was quickly dismissed by employees of the NSA and CIA who claimed that refusing to use its pronouns amounted to erasing a transgender identity. These are folks with top secret security clearances believing they are an it, said the NSA source. Top secret clearances, right? And I am an it.
It's a little belittling.
With the Trump administration taking over, we may see changes. I feel like that's an understatement.
Oh, yeah.
Changes are incoming. The NSA source said that staffers involved in the employee resource group fear the end of DEI. Oh, what are we going to do without this? There are legal restrictions in place, but the admin has shown they don't give a blank about legality. A staffer in space intelligence remarked about DEI staffers being placed on leave. Others have expressed opposition to Trump's cabinet nominees. A conflict is coming. The NSA chat log suggests the presence of at least hundreds of gender activists within the intelligence services who cannot distinguish between male and female and who believe that discussing castration, polyamory, and quote-unquote gangbangs is an appropriate use of public resources. For psychological and ideological reasons, these kinds of people will not easily be sidelined. The Trump administration should not only dismantle the structure of DEI, but also terminate the employees who use it to advance gender activism at the expense of national security. Amen. Amen. We got some high-profile people weighing in on all of this. Elon Musk said, well, at least we know what they did last week. Tulsi Gabbard weighed in, said this behavior is unacceptable, and those involved will be held accountable. These disgusting chat groups were immediately shut down when POTUS issued his executive order ending the DEI insanity the Biden administration was obsessed with. Our intelligence community must be focused on our core mission, ensuring the safety, security, and freedom of the American people, not discussing castration and gangbangs. I added the last part. I think it was implied. So this is what your government's been doing. You shocked? Surprised? None of the above? 615-737-9986 if you want to weigh into the conversation. Phone lines open, text lines open. The YouTube chat is jumping. If you want to watch this on Super Talk TV, head on over to YouTube, hit like, hit subscribe. We appreciate it when you do so. And don't forget our massive, massive party happening March 4th, Nashville Palace. State of the Union. Myself, Mandis, Murphy, Benson, Brian Wilson with a drive-by, and Ken Weaver, Joan Jones. The entire gang is going to be out there. We want you out there, too. Tickets available, 997WTN.com. Comes with a buffet, comes with a drink ticket, and reserved seating, 997WTN.com. Hey, it's Chris Hand here for my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Winter clearance happening right now at Busy Bee. And if you need a new heater, now's the time to do it. They're cleaning out the old 2024 inventory, making room for the 2025 models, and they're passing the savings along to you. For just $6,997, you can get a 14-SEER, 1.5 to 3-ton split heat pump model. That is a fantastic deal, and you're only going to get it from Busy Bee. And if you're one of the first 25 customers to take the deal, you'll also get a bundled-in smart thermostat for free. Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, they'll help you if you need to replace the system, but if you just need a repair or you need your system serviced, they can help you with that, too. Join the Beehive Club today. 10% off all repairs, 3 annual tune-ups, front-of-the-line service, $100 annual recruit replacement credit, no overtime or holiday fees, and exclusive Beehive member promotions. All of that for just $99 per unit. And all month long, you buy one Beehive Club membership, you get one of equal or lesser value for free. That's Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, 615-775-7833, 615-775-7833, online, busybeehvac.com.
Up ahead, a terror plot inspired by hate for Elon Musk. And we've got an update on that asteroid that's threatening to smash into the Earth. Those stories coming up at 10 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
After reading these NSA chat logs, I, for one, welcome the asteroid. I don't know if there's any fixing what's going on here. Jeez. Thank you, Joan Jones. News on the way. 57 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Steve, who's on the road, wants to talk about the NSA chats, the DEI, the gender stuff. Steve, you're up next on Super Talk. What's up, man?
Hey, Chris. Thanks for taking my call, man. Hey, yeah, I'm right in there with you on this. It's been a very upsetting topic for a long time, but mainly for women in women's sports, it's hurting them really bad. But it's just bad for society altogether with this transgender, gender dysphoria stuff. Ultimately, I just look at it as they're just pretending to be something that they're not, and we all have to play along with it. But,
it is the only mental illness where we enable the person with the illness. Like if somebody had schizophrenia, we'd never say, "Ooh, let's dive into your other personalities and learn more about them." We just wouldn't.
Exactly. But, you can take it all the way to when we're in the womb. Look at the hospitals now. This is kind of like where the hospitals are kind of, they're going back on whatever they say. When a baby's in the womb and the mother goes in for a, where she gets her belly scanned.
Ultrasound, yeah.
Ultrasound, they tell you if it's a boy or a girl right there. So, boom.
I know. Can you believe those bigots still get away with that?
Yeah. This is even before birth. So, but, the thing about DOGE is finding all this wasteful money and spending and everything. And now we see Ron DeSantis down in Florida is creating a state-level DOGE committee, which is great. I think this is going to be when everybody sees all the states. If all the states, I think Bill Lee should start one too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The majority of all the states, if we all have a state-level DOGE committee, these few states that are left out that are fighting against this right now, when it's almost like it's over, because I think every state will join this. The majority of all of our states will be involved in this statewide DOGE committee. That will just leave the handful of states that are still fighting against this. The people will be able to speak. We all want to know on a state level that our money is going for the right purposes and not the wrong purposes. So
yeah, you're absolutely right, Steve. And I do like what DeSantis is doing in Florida with a state-level DOGE. I think we would need a Tennessee state-level DOGE. I think that'd be awesome. DeSantis did something, though, the other day that, ruffled my feathers. So, DeSantis bros, get ready. I'm coming in hot for Ron when we get back. It's 10 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning, 10 o'clock now. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Thanks to an alert from concerned friends, an Ashland City man has been arrested for plotting a terror attack. News 2's Andy Corden reports 25-year-old Ethan Early was inspired by his hate for Elon Musk.
Early is accused of purchasing components of thermite, which when combined and ignited can produce temperatures hot enough to melt iron, according to the arrest affidavit. 25-year-old Ethan Early made concerning statements about President Trump and Elon Musk. And according to the arrest document, Early reportedly told his friends he was going to take the thermite and burn down Elon Musk's brand new AI facility in Memphis.
But Early had a change of heart and disposed of the thermite components in a trash bin at his apartment complex, say police. Early was reportedly booked into the Cheatham County Jail. Weapons detection systems will be installed in all Metro Nashville high schools within 3 months. The Evolve technology detectors will cost MNPS more than $1 million a year to operate. Tennessee nuclear development taking shape. The Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development announcing this week it has received 30 new applications for nuclear energy projects totaling $80 million in state grant requests. Governor Bill Lee is proposing more than $92 million in new spending to help attract even more business. Tennessee is home to 229 nuclear companies. You'll be ordering your last cup of coffee at one Nashville Starbucks on Friday. The Belle Meade Plaza location off Harding Pike is closing its doors Friday as the plaza is getting ready to turn into a mixed-use development. In that location, there'll be 400 condos, apartments, green space, and some hotel rooms, too. And there's good news from NASA, where scientists have run their numbers again on that potentially catastrophic asteroid.
The office building size 2024 YR4 previously had an impact probability of 2.3%, which is high compared to the other 37,000 near-Earth asteroids being tracked by NASA. But newer observations suggest a much lower chance, about 1.7%. The 2024 YR4 has our planet in its sights when it passes by on December 22nd, 2032. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
That is the latest news. We've got your weather up next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
.10:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris And. Appreciate you listening, watching, however you're doing it, whether you're on the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, the FM dial, the 99.7 WTN app. If you're over there on YouTube, watching on Super Talk TV, hit like and subscribe while you're there. The YouTube chat's always jumping. Text line's jumping, too. Did you see what Sal said?
incompetence.
It cracked me up. So we were doing that story on the NSA. The show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, by the way. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You know why you need them.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Betterwater.com. So we were talking about this NSA chat leaking. And I said, what was the line? Somebody was talking about, the former NSA source who's familiar with the chats recalled being disgusted by a particularly shocking thread discussing weekend gangbangs. And I said, not just for the Laverne police anymore. And Sal texted in, and he goes, you need to know, I was in front of the Laverne police, window down. You said that, and the lady cop started laughing.
It's so good that they got to hear it, too.
Not just for Laverne anymore. All right, Ron DeSantis, not a huge fan. I don't know if you guys know that about me. I don't.
What?
I know.
No.
Breaking news. Hit the breaking news sounder. Don't actually do it.
Man, I was looking for it.
So Trump came out and he endorsed Byron Donalds, right? And there's a lot of rumors in Florida that Ron, his wife, Casey, is also going to be running for governor. So Trump comes out and he endorses Byron Donalds. Casey's been on like a big media, she's doing this PR stuff. She's going around to different events. She's getting her name out there. And that's the rumor in Florida. Casey DeSantis is going to be running. So Ron yesterday was talking about doing a state-level DOGE, which I think is awesome. DeSantis is a good governor. Let's just get that out of the way. I do think he's a good governor. But he was asked about Byron Donalds for governor in 2026, and if he would be endorsing Byron Donalds for governor in 2026. This is on the heels of Trump endorsing Byron Donalds for Florida governor. And his answer kind of whiffed. I'll explain after you listen.
Trump endorsed Byron Donalds in the 2026 governor's race. Do you also plan to endorse the congressman? And if not, who are you looking at and why?
My view is Donald Trump just got into office. I want these congressmen focused on enacting his agenda. They haven't done very much yet. They're not putting his executive orders into place.
True.
We'll see what they do on the spending. But we have such a narrow majority that to be trying to campaign other places and missing these votes, I think is not something that's advisable at all.
So he says, Congress hasn't done anything. And listen, I think that criticism is absolutely fair. You haven't put any of these executive orders into place. Nothing's been codified into law. You haven't really done much to enact his agenda from the Congress standpoint, right? Like, let's be real. He hits the nail on the head. But then he said something that I'm like, bro, are you forgetting what happened? He said, I don't think that he should be campaigning while he's supposed to be a congressman enacting Trump's agenda. And I just thought to myself, wow, coming from the guy who was campaigning for president while he was the governor of Florida, it feels like the floor on your criticism kind of falls out. And I think that the real issue behind Byron Donalds and whether or not he'll endorse him is Ron wants Casey, his wife, to be the next governor of Florida. I heard those comments. Rubbed me the wrong way. They weren't inaccurate, but I think his motivations are more anti anybody but Casey as opposed to getting Trump's agenda enacted. Let's be perfectly real. That I don't know how else you read that.
And so the reality is we've achieved victories in Florida.
True.
We need to start achieving those victories up there. So I think people look at it and say, you got a guy like Byron. He just hasn't been a part of any of the victories that we've had here over the left over these last years. He's just not been a part of it. He's been in other states campaigning, doing that, and that's fine. But okay, well then deliver results up there.
Okay, well then I would just pose the question back to you, Ron. Because clearly he's campaigning for his wife right now. Like there's no getting around that. He's campaigning for his wife. So I'd say, what victories has Casey DeSantis been a part of? I'll wait. I'm sure it's a massive list. That's the list. That's the whole list. Again, he's taking a huge steaming crap on Byron Donalds. A lot of his criticism is completely fair. But I question his motivation for doing it.
That's what I want to see. I want to see them delivering results for the people of Florida. We deliver it here all the time for the people of Florida, and that's what we need to be doing. And so, I've said I'm going to be, raising money. We're going to be looking to have somebody that's going to be able to continue and build off the success that we've had here in Florida. I think a lot of people think somehow the battle's been won and you don't have to worry about it. We could revert very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, again, it's not exactly what he's saying that I have an issue with. I think a lot of his criticisms are fair, but I think his motivation, is to get his wife elected governor by any means necessary. Point blank, period. We got another governor race happening as well. Vivek Ramaswamy officially announcing yesterday that he is going to be running for the governor of Ohio. This would be one of the most massive upgrades in recent history, except for Biden to Trump. But Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is just an absolute rhino. And Vivek would be a huge improvement in Ohio.
I am honored to announce my candidacy to serve as the next governor of the state of Ohio.
You remember this was during the campaign trail. Vivek was asked if he would run for governor, and he said, I hadn't really thought about this until just now. And I remember at that moment, it was like, okay, yeah, he's probably going to run for governor, because the way that happened so organically in a room, this is what it sounded like back in the day.
Are you going to run for governor of Ohio? And
I'm a little more inclined than I was about 10 seconds ago.
Again, that was in the fall of 2024, and I feel like the writing's been on the wall for Vivek ever since. And yesterday, he did make that announcement. He is going to run for governor of Ohio.
President Trump is reviving our conviction in America. We require a leader here at home who will revive our conviction in Ohio. And that is why today, I am honored to announce that I am running to be the next governor of a great state at the heart of the greatest nation known to mankind, the state where I was born and raised, the state where Apurva and I raise our two sons today, a state whose best days are still ahead. I am honored to announce my candidacy to serve as the next governor of the state of Ohio.
I mean, this could be the first in a long career in politics for Vivek. One of his knocks when he was running for president was he has no political experience. This would change that. I think that he could probably win Ohio relatively easy, honestly. Who else are they going to put up against him? So we'll keep you posted on Vivek Ramaswamy. That's an interesting story. Another interesting story breaking today. Dan Crenshaw versus Tucker Carlson. Did you see this? Now the audio's fuzzy, so I'm not going to play it for you. But there's a clip of Congressman Dan Crenshaw, Eye Patch McCain, if you will. Eye Patch McCain is on a live camera, hot mic, and he got caught being asked about Tucker Carlson. And his response was, "If I ever meet Tucker Carlson, I'll effing kill him. I'm not joking." I mean, somebody is so salty about criticisms. Somebody is so salty that we're not in a regime starting forever wars anymore. That person is Dan Crenshaw. Tucker Carlson responded to the comments, and he said, "Why don't you come sit for an interview, and we'll see how you do. I'll send you my address." And then he tagged him in the post, which I love. So after all that, Tucker offered him an interview. Eye Patch McCain, Tucker. I would watch that interview. If Pierce Morgan is willing to sit for an interview with Tucker, and why wouldn't Dan Crenshaw do it? It would hurt him politically, probably. But Dan Crenshaw said he would effing kill Tucker Carlson if he ever met him. What a clown! What an absolute clown! There's so much going on. Joy Reid Joy Reid is out at MSNBC. She had her final show yesterday. Her final show, and her last monologue was it was okay. It was all right. All of her friends coming in to tell her how great of a job she's done as she's been failing in ratings and race baiting was a bit hilarious to me. But she was an absolute mess after her show was canceled. She held it together on her last broadcast, but this is her. This is a video released yesterday of her crying on camera.
But also that my show had value, and that that what I was doing had value.
I imagine a same kind of response from Dan Crenshaw if he ever sits down with Tucker Carlson and then he loses his next election. He'd be like, "I had value. I'm sorry. I thought I was doing something good." I feel bad making fun of Joy Reid for crying, but then the other part of me is like, no, don't feel bad.
That what I was doing had value, and in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV, and this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize.
Yeah, it's gonna be like you on TV moving forward. You're gonna be like Don Lemon. You're getting a couple hundred views on the videos you post. Wasn't Don going to have a great career after he got canceled from CNN? What happened to that? Get ready. A lot more Joy Reid podcasting like this is coming to a computer screen near you. Don't worry. You don't have to watch it.
And that it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you. Where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby or a mom or a dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted and not just Black folks, or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them. Or whether we've talked about what the president is doing that is subversive to the Constitution, that is injurious to our liberty, defending books that people find inconvenient, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country, whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza, and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object to little babies being bombed. And where I come down on that is I'm not sorry.
Yeah, and nobody's sorry that your show got canceled. Nobody's sorry that your ratings tanked. Nobody's sorry. And you list all these issues that you were such a fighter on. Oh, like pornographic books in kids' schools and illegal aliens and supporting terrorists. Like, yeah, whoa, what a fighter. Your bravery will not be missed. And I'll miss her a little bit, not gonna lie. But not for her bravery. More for the stupidity, more for the laughs. But that's Joy Reid. Now one of her friends, TV friends, if you're watching on Super Talk TV, so let me do the air quotes. Friends, Rachel Maddow, she had something to say about this. She said it's like losing a limb. It's like losing a limb. How could they do this? And then she accused MSNBC of being racist. Of course. It has nothing to do with ratings. It has everything to do with Joy Reid being black. I'll bring you Rachel Maddow's racism accusation. And if I'm the CEO at MSNBC, like, Rachel, you're next. You're absolutely next. It's 10:21 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Did you know you're overpaying for your health and wellness products?
With over 20 company-owned brands offering its members vitamins, supplements, wellness, and skincare products, you're able to save up to 70% off retail.
Members Nutrition can't change your life, but we can change the way you live.
Homeland Security agents rush to a local school district, and a popular tree may soon be banned in Tennessee. We've got those stories coming up at 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Joan Jones. 24 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to the show anywhere. iHeartRadio, tune in, the 99.7 WTN app, your FM dial. You can watch us, Super Talk TV, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and my personal favorite, YouTube, where the chat is always jumping. Text line's jumping too, 615-737-9986. Anytime I say something about Ron DeSantis, it's a split crowd. You see that? Some people are like, Chris, you're an idiot. Yeah. Chris, you're so dumb. Okay, all right. And then I get other texts like 9653. Sounds like Ron's wife wears the pants at home, ... I'm female, by the way, so she's allowed to say it. But, you know, I didn't think my take on Ron was too far off. Maybe. Joy Reid being fired from MSNBC, it's just poetic justice. It's poetry, honestly. Rachel Maddow, she's taking it the hardest. She opened her show yesterday with like a 4-minute rant about Joy Reid. I'm not going to play you the whole thing. I don't think I don't think that I should punish you for that. But this is a snippet of what it sounded like.
PM hour all the other nights except for Mondays. So that's a big change. An even bigger programming change is at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern, where Joy Reid's show, The Readout, ended tonight. And Joy is not taking a different job in the network. She is leaving the network altogether. And that is very, very, very hard to take. I am 51 years old. I have been gainfully employed since I was 12. And I have had so many different kinds of jobs, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But in all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that, but that's what I think.
So listen, if the comments stop there, if the comment had stopped there from Rachel Maddow, you'd be like, okay, cool. Like, I get it. Like, you lost a coworker. Like, we've all dealt with it. You know, if you listen to this station faithfully, we've dealt with it too. And it's like, it's not our call. It sucks when you lose a friend, right? Like, that's totally cool. Like, I have no problems with that original statement. But then she went off the deep end and she accused MSNBC of only firing the black people.
I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows.
So would you feel better, Rachel, if Joy Reid was staying and she was going? Would that be more equitable? Would that be equitable?
Would you take place for her?
Yeah, I'm asking. I don't know. Are only two non-white hosts? Oh, and then she added in a third.
Our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Fang on the weekend.
Oh, who could forget Katie Fang? I'm sure it has nothing to do with their trash ratings, right? Nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with the race baiting. Nothing to do with the lies. Nothing to do with probably MSNBC thinking like, man, we are sitting on a landmine here waiting for a lawsuit to come down when she spits some garbage out of her mouth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've seen the lawsuits on CBS, CNN. They're settling out of court. They're paying all this money off. the guys over at MSNBC are probably like, we have to get rid of this raving lunatic.
Yeah.
Who does nothing for us in the ratings, but could cost us a lot of money. But no, that wouldn't even cross Rachel Maddow's mind. They fired her because she's black. I didn't know.
6890 said something. He said something similar to Dan this morning, and that he said maybe we can get a 2-for-1.
Yeah, like I don't understand it. Like if we lost a coworker and I went and I was like, we don't agree with it, this and that. But darn it, I think that Cumulus is firing them because they're white. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but it's only the whites that are losing their jobs around here.
I think it's a trend.
Like what? It's just so silly. Like your ratings are in the trash. It's not racism. It's just that you're not excelling at your job and you're making $3 million a year.
And that feels worse than bad.
It does. It does. It feels bad. Even worse.
No matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible, and I do not defend it.
Well, you just said it was indefensible, so you didn't really need the next sentence, did you?
Kind of redundant.
But there's just one other piece of it that you should know.
Oh, tell us.
From your side of the TV screen, you will mostly see changes in terms of who's in the anchor chair. And actually, everybody who's going to be in anchor chairs from here on out are great colleagues and great at what they do, and you are not going to be disappointed.
Fact check that. Will you fact check if we're going to be disappointed or not? It's 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning, 10:30 now, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Well, 3 schools placed on lockdown in Robertson County this morning after the school district received a phoned-in bomb threat. The threat specifically named Greenbrier Elementary School, so out of an abundance of caution, the elementary, middle, and high school were all put on lockdown. Officers with the Robertson County Sheriff's Office and the Department of Homeland Security responded. That threat was determined to have originated from outside the country. The campuses were cleared and lockdowns lifted around 9 o'clock this morning. The U.S. voted against a United Nations resolution laying blame on Russia for its invasion of Ukraine, just as the Trump administration is chasing a peace deal with both sides. Now, that deal would have the U.S. receiving minerals from Ukraine. Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty tells Fox News that Trump is thinking outside the box.
Well, I think what President Trump again is doing is he's shifting the conversation completely. He's trying to get to a deal with Russia. He's not just continuing the Joe Biden process of sticking a stick in Russia's eye. You see the European leaders that want to just continue down this path.
Just this morning, Putin offered the U.S. access to rare minerals from the part of Ukraine that it now occupies. Should Bradford pear trees be banned in Tennessee? Republican state legislator Clay Doggett wants colleagues to support his bill that would study the impact of that tree, which some say crowds out native plants and they're a threat in strong storms. The Bradford pear is already banned in Ohio and Pennsylvania. That's the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Thank you, Joan. 10:32 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, it's Chris Hand. You hear me talk about my friends at Better Water LLC all the time, and it's because they're the best. Do you know what's in your water? The water that you're drinking, the water that you're bathing your kids in? No? Well, you should really find out. It could be some nasty stuff. Sulfur, iron, chlorine, bacteria, E. coli. There could be some disgusting things in your water. How do you know for sure? Well, you call Better Water LLC. You talk to my friend Craig or Brandy. They'll come test your water for free. And if you need a water filtration system or water softeners, man, they got options for you. A full range of water treatment equipment, from reverse osmosis units to water softeners to specialized filters to UV lights, you name it, and these guys are local. Based out of Smyrna, and they treat all of Middle Tennessee. They're the same guys treating the water at your favorite coffee shop, and they even treat the water at the hospitals you go to. You need to talk to Better Water LLC for at least the peace of mind knowing that your water is clean. Talk to them today, 615-355-6063. Ask for Craig or Brandy. Tell them Chris Hand sent you, 615-355-6063, or betterwater.com to learn more.
For many of us, generators are becoming a must-have household appliance. From unpredictable weather to surprise outages, it's better to be safe than sorry. Generator Supercenter of Nashville offers fast and easy installations with 24/7 service and monitoring to all brands of generators and expert repairs done right. Our mission is to make owning a backup generator simple and easy. Visit your local store today or check us out online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
Thirty-six minutes past the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Chris Hand here. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can watch the show live. Super Talk TV. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. YouTube chat's jumping. If you're heading over to YouTube, hit like and subscribe while you're there. You can even get notifications when the station goes live. That'll be helpful one day if there's some breaking news where we all jump in. You know, boom, right to your phone. So hit the notifications as well. We got so much to cover. So much to cover. Where do you want to start with DOGE? Let's start with DOGE. So remember how everybody was losing their mind? That Elon, oh, nobody voted for him. Elon is going to have access to our personal data. You remember that? I remember that. We can't let him get it. Nobody voted for him. Well, it's funny. It's funny. Just about an hour ago, House Judiciary GOP, breaking news. New disclosure reveals that the Biden IRS leaked taxpayer information of over 405,000 Americans, including President Trump's. Oh, so they didn't need Elon's help to leak out your sensitive information. Apparently, they were already doing that. Strange. Color me shocked. This is from the House Judiciary GOP, posted 1 hour ago. New disclosure reveals that Biden IRS leaked taxpayer information of over 405,000 Americans, including President Trump. The IRS's admission confirms the committee's suspicion in recent reports that show the scope of the leak was much broader than what the Biden administration's IRS initially led the public to believe. It was May of 2024, if you remember correctly, an IRS spokesman stated that more than 70,000 taxpayers were affected. Now we're finding out that the leak was actually over 405,000 taxpayers. This is a massive scandal, says the House Judiciary GOP. Jim Jordan first launched his inquiry into these leaks last year, getting answers for the American people. Elon, he's gonna ruin everything. Oh, you already did? Okay. Got it. Elon Musk is now saying that subject to the discretion of the president, federal employees who do not respond to the email asking them what they did last week will be getting a second chance. No timeline on that, but there is a note there. Failure to respond to the second chance will result in termination. President Trump endorsed that email on Monday sent by Elon Musk via the United States Office of Personnel Management to federal workers on Friday afternoon, asking them to reply with 5 bullet points what they accomplished last week. Trump said during a press conference, I thought it was great. I thought it was great. I thought it was the best. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Now, Trump highlights the fact that, well, we might be paying people that aren't there at all. We might be paying people that do no work whatsoever. And we're kind of curious, are you actually working? Right? Like, are you really working? This is what it's about. Now, a lot of Americans are down with this. It's weird. We've seen some split in our audience. Not a massive split, but I'd say like 90 to 10. Where we do have federal employees in the listening area, and they have friends that are federal employees, and they're not huge fans of this. And I say sorry, like I'm still all in. Like feelings be damned. Like we might lose a good one or two along the way, but this is the birthing pains that we're experiencing of shrinking the government right now. Like it's not going to be comfortable, so we have to keep going. Period. And then when I hear federal workers going on CNN to cry, I'm even more confirming my original thought of, I don't exactly care what you have to say. A federal worker went on CNN yesterday. They didn't have enough time to respond to the email, but they had enough time to book an interview on CNN to say that Elon Musk is harassing and bullying them.
First, just tell us about this email and what it was like receiving it. And
tell us about the email. What was it like receiving an email?
What you all have talked about after getting it.
Sure. I got this email Saturday afternoon, about 3 p.m., and I felt absolutely infuriated.
How dare you email me on the weekend? So funny. Like, in this day and age with cell phones, it's like, there's no more time off. Like I get work emails, I get work texts all the time over the weekend. Like all the time. A lot of times it's turning point. It's not exactly.
Say fine, I'll stop texting you.
No, it's not really this place. It's more like turning point. And they'll be like, hey, we had a huge protest, and transgender activists are spilling tomato juice on our table. Honestly, that's an email that I've gotten.
I believe it. I 100% believe it.
Like honestly, not even a joke. That actually happened. That's what. What do we do with this? Honestly, this happens. We got an email over the weekend.
Getting this email with a demand within 48 hours to provide a response on what I did within the last week or face termination. This is clearly an attempt from Elon Musk to harass and bully and intimidate the federal workforce, which is part of his broader plan to gut the federal workforce and privatize public sector services to ensure that corporations like his own can get more profit.
She says it like it's a bad thing, but I actually signed up for the gutting of the federal workforce. Like that's a net positive to me, shrinking the government. He's harassing and he's bullying us. He's emailing us on the weekend, asking us what we're doing. I would put this woman on the top of the list to be fired. Like immediately, maybe even straight to jail. Possibly. Why not? Why not? But she goes
right to jail.
Right to jail. She goes on TV and she cries. So hard. Do you have any idea how hard it is to be a federal employee and have the demands of needing an email to be responded to? They had the audacity. They wanted me to read it, and then they wanted me to respond to it. And they wanted me to provide 5 things I did last week. 5? Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize we lived in Nazi Germany. It's just... And then CNN platforms these people like it's no big deal. Like we're supposed to have these tiers for these federal workers, yet we were literally kicking military members out for not getting a vaccine, and that was totally chill. Like no big deal. We were championing people losing their jobs because they didn't want to take a vaccine, and that was no big deal. But the poor federal workers. Someone think of the federal workers. No, I won't. 60 Minutes was also, they covered some of the DOGE firings over the weekend, and it was just in true 60 Minutes fashion. They're outside of one of these agencies, and they're pulling on the doors, and the doors are locked, and they're like, oh, no, what do we do?
These are rare, verified pictures of 3 team members entering the building on Friday, February 7th.
We heard from our colleagues that they are camped out in the basement. They've got papers up on the windows to keep people from looking in, and they've been accessing data, certainly.
Hannah Hickman was an attorney here until a week and a half ago. Who are these people?
Software engineers, college dropouts, certainly nobody
College dropouts?
That's what we've heard.
College dropouts. Yeah, well, college it's actually a massive scam. Some of these kids are just brilliant geniuses. A lot of them are college graduates too, as well. I don't want to knock it, but no, they're not the gender study majors that have been hired at the federal level over the past 4 years. And you see what's happening at the NSA with these secret chats. It's like, yeah, fire more of them. You have more secret chats being leaked out. Christopher Rufo broke this story, and as the day is going on, he's dropping more receipts, and it is insane what these federal employees were doing. If you missed last hour, we covered this story quite a bit. There were secret kink fetish sex chats happening on the clock on secret communication servers at the NSA with NSA and CIA employees. And more of these chats are leaking out. This is from, this chat is dated Friday, December 20th, 2024. Okay, so Trump has already won, right? And he's yet to be inaugurated. And these are the federal employees. This is what they're talking about. Compromise. Half of LGBTQ plus people should die, and the rest get no rights. So Tulsi Gabbard is troublesome. I just found a bunch of things about her I didn't know. Good compromise, Melody. This is just a chat back and forth with these people. A lot of them are troublesome to my prospects of continued existence, along with the continued existence of a lot of people I care about. Thank you. I've been told I'm good at finding the middle ground between positions before. And yeah, Gabbard is a Russian agent, in my opinion. These people are insane. These people are hysterical. They think that they're going to be, killed and their rights taken away. It's like, stop. You're watching too much Joy Reid on MSNBC. Luckily, that problem is resolving itself. But honestly, what is the level of mental illness that we're dealing with? Nobody's taking any rights away. Nobody wants to kill anybody. Yet this is what they're talking about at the federal level in these secret NSA chats. These people are insane. They said Tulsi Gabbard belongs to a cult. 2, if you count MAGA. MAGA. We got to fight against MAGA. These people are ridiculous. Yes. I want the federal government completely gutted. I want the federal government workforce completely gutted. I do. There's a tech guru who goes by the name Data Republican online. This woman's brilliant by all accounts, and she is blind and deaf, but she's like a whiz kid. And Elon pays a lot of attention to what she's saying, and this data scientist who has ties to DOGE now declared Monday on News Nation that she believes over $100 billion in taxpayer money is being wasted or stolen by federal employees at government agencies. Is this what they're really worried about, that the cash flow is going to be turned off? I think so. Now, I would play the audio for you of this woman, but again, she is deaf and she is blind, but she is a tech expert, and she's been using artificial intelligence to expose a lot of this waste and fraud online. And if you follow Data Republican, she made all of this open source, so you can search a lot of this spending yourself, which is wild. Wu, the woman, she is deaf. She said through an interpreter when asked by News Nation's Brian Enton about how much federal cash she believes is being wasted or stolen based on her effort poring over public databases. She says, if I had to guess, I'd say it's over 100 billion. Billion with a B. Now, maybe I've been desensitized to this, but that's a lot of money. Like, I read this at first, and I was like, oh, just 100 billion? That seems low. And I'm like, no. I need to, like, recalibrate how I've been thinking about this. $100 billion is a lot of freaking money. She said, but what's more important, is what they're doing with that money. The numbers don't lie, she added. And look, they don't always say what I want to hear, but they do tell me the truth. Data Republican is not disclosing her true identity because you see what these lunatics are doing. You see how they've been radicalized by mainstream media and by online forums like Reddit, and she doesn't want to get shot, obviously. And I think being deaf and blind adds a interesting wrinkle when people want to take you out. She described her relationship with the head of President Trump's Department of Government Efficiency as a working one, but noted that she has not communicated directly with Elon Musk. She said, I want to be clear, I don't communicate directly with Elon. He found me, supports my work, but I have communicated with some people who are involved with DOGE, and I don't want to say much more than that, but I have a working relationship. And she said, $100 billion. $100 billion is what she's estimating as being wasted or downright stolen from the federal government. $100 billion of your tax dollars. Insanity. This is why the left is all up in arms. This is why they're screaming. The free money is going to stop, whether they like it or not. There's more on DOGE on the way. Plus, we'll recover the hackers that struck HUD when we return. Has Ken heard that story? Ken, you heard about HUD and the hackers?
I heard a blurb yesterday.
Okay.
And that there was something that was not very pleasant.
It wasn't. We'll cover it when we get back for Ken Weaver. It's 10:51 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Chris Hand here to tell you about my friends at the Glock store. We still got a couple days left in February. Have you gone on a date yet with the wife? You taking the wife out? No? Well, you got to change that. February is supposed to be the month when you do fun things with your significant other. And I don't know if there's anything more fun than a shooting session at the Glock store. And what's better, it's 2 for 1 all month long. February is the perfect month for the perfect date, and this is the perfect deal. Book a couple shooting session at shoot270.com, and when you show up, you mention my name, Chris Hand, and boom, just like that, it's 2 shooters for the price of 1. Now, if your partner hasn't been to Shoot 270, you might have to explain that this is not a lane range. It's a private shooting room with a personal instructor. You're not shooting next to a stranger, and in fact, you're going to be shooting less and learning more. Your personal instructor will tailor the session to your current level of shooting expertise. And again, whatever level you're at, you're going to end better than when you started. Book 2 shooters for the price of 1 right now. Shoot270.com. Mention my name all February long at my place to train, the Glock store. Minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere. Shoot270.com.
All right, South Nashville drivers got a crash blocking the left 2 lanes of 24 westbound right there at Murfreesboro Pike. And then a crash 65 southbound at I-24 north. Explosive materials and an Ashland City man. We'll tell you about it at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. 56 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. So yesterday, this is how the New York Post puts it. Cyberpunks breached a television at the Department of Housing and Urban Development on Monday morning, broadcasting a stomach-turning AI video of President Trump caressing and kissing the feet of billionaire Elon Musk.
That's what I saw.
I'm not even mad. I'm actually impressed with these guys. I think it's hilarious.
That's actually...
I think it's so good.
Well, I saw something a little bit more evil, though. Maybe that wasn't true, but I do remember that now.
There's some evil stuff going on too.
Oh, there is, dude.
Yeah, those are in the secret NSA chats. This is out in public for everybody to see at HUD. So essentially, hackers got access to, and if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the picture of this. Just search for Super Talk 99.7 on YouTube. Hit like and subscribe while you're there. But here, put the picture back up real quick.
It's there.
Okay. So my favorite part about this picture is like you can see that it's not just one TV, it's also the TV in the background. It was on all of the screens at HUD. And I just thought it was brilliant. Like, give credit where credit is due. That is funny. That is so funny. Like, the left can't meme, but they did good today.
And I don't remember who said it in the YouTube chat, but Chris and I were talking about it off air. It says, it looks like Elon has 2 right feet.
Yes.
And I was like, that's because Trump is never on the left.
Yeah, he's never on the left. He said, Elon, I'm only gonna lick your right foot. The video version's so good. Like, I mean, he's going in between the toes. He's getting the webbing, all that.
So have they figured out who did it?
I don't think they have yet, but I think the guy deserves a medal. Whoever did it. The guy or gal, I want to be equitable here in my approach.
Hire that man.
Yeah, get him on the meme team. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid.
The meme team.
We need him on the meme team.
The department, the director of the Department of Memes.
Honestly, like if I was like Kamala Harris or somebody though, I'd be like, okay, we have to find, like if I'm on the left, we have to find that person and put him in charge of the Twitter accounts.
Yeah,
we have to.
Yeah, man. I mean, for real. I mean that is pretty remarkable what this person was able to do.
It's
funny.
something.
Funny is funny no matter what. Like we either can laugh at everything, or we're not allowed to laugh at anything.
That's true. That's true.
And this was funny. So shout out to the cyberpunks, as the New York Post put it. Cyberpunks. Get those damn cyberpunks off my TV screen.
Trump saying, I want to hire this kid. Get him in here.
So they couldn't figure out how to stop it. So you know what they did? The technical option?
Unplug the TV.
They unplugged all the TVs. I wonder if they plug them back in today if we got more toe licking from Trump and Elon.
Like maybe it went away over the weekend.
Yeah, I hope that they go to plug it back in and it's just more toe licking.
There's
so
audio
good.
this time. It's like, no.
So good.
Stop.
So good. All right, Trump yesterday, he met with Emmanuel Macron. Out of France. We'll bring you some of the highlights. He didn't really spend a lot of time talking about France. He didn't really care about France. He's like, yeah, you guys are all right. And then he went on to talk about Ukraine. We'll bring you that when we return. It's 11 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It's 11 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Again, drivers got an issue in South Nashville. A crash is blocking the left 2 lanes at 24 westbound right there at Murfreesboro Pike. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. We are following a report that a threat has caused the lockdown of 3 schools in Robertson County, Greenbrier Middle School being one of them. The school's on lockdown, and it looks like everyone is safe. They're just having to investigate these threats. An Ashland City man is behind bars after purchasing highly explosive materials that he intended to use to blow up Elon Musk's supercomputer facility in Memphis. He kept the materials in his apartment, according to police. This man, Daniel Burke, lived down hall from the suspect, Ethan Early.
I think that it is irresponsible and does not help the political situation within this country to commit violence against those individuals.
News 2 says Ethan Early's friends called police after becoming concerned about his plans. He was arrested and booked into the Cheatham County Jail. One more chance for federal workers to respond to Elon Musk's Tell Me 5 Things email.
Musk saying overnight that employees will get another chance to respond to his email, asking them to list their recent accomplishments. The original deadline to respond passed overnight. But Musk now saying, quote, failure to respond a second time will result in termination. Musk not elaborating on a potential second deadline.
That's ABC's Nicole D'Antonio. The State Department says it will respond on behalf of employees. The FBI said it's conducted reviews and will coordinate responses for its employees, and the Department of Health and Human Services has given its employees guidelines for responding. President Trump has appointed Tennessee native Alice Johnson as his so-called pardon czar. You may remember her from 2018 when Trump pardoned her after a high-profile campaign from Kim Kardashian. Now she's doing the same for others.
I advocated for them right in the Oval Office. It wasn't me sending him a list. He wanted me to come and meet with him and talk to him. Even when we was on Air Force One, I flown on Air Force One with him. And while on Air Force One, he told his wife, Melania, he said, Alice just convinced me to set 5 people free. Can you believe that?
Johnson also working on programs that help people get engaged in society after they're released from prison. Well, the Associated Press won't be returning to the White House briefing room anytime soon. A D.C. judge ruling that the White House is allowed to ban the AP for continuing to use the term Gulf of Mexico in its reports. In his ruling, Judge Trevor McFadden, who was appointed by Trump in 2017, said the Associated Press can get access to the same information from pool coverage. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
11:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand. I was just popping in over the YouTube chat, and I saw Statman said, Hand is the only one who recognizes our existence over here. So hello to the YouTube chat. If you're watching on Super Talk TV on YouTube, it's thanks to our friends at Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We love those guys. And we love you no matter how you're listening, whether you're watching us on Super Talk TV, whether you're on the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, the 99.7 WTN app, or whether you're on the FM dial, kicking it old school. No matter how you're doing it, we appreciate you. And we want to see you, actually. We have a huge party coming up on March 4th, Nashville Palace. We're going to watch State of the Union together. And if it's a sellout, Matt Murphy is going to shave his head.
Like, not just like, I think it's down to a buzz cut.
Yeah.
But like still, like not, no more man bun, no more ponytail, nothing.
He's been rocking the man bun around here a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to go out and, like, put him on blast.
I consider it more a ponytail, personally.
It's a lot of man bun. It's a lot.
It's a lot of bunning for one
It's a lot of bun. It's a lot of bun. I'm just letting you know. So we're looking forward to Matt Murphy getting a haircut, but that's only going to happen on stage if we sell the place out. 997WTN.com for tickets. They're not expensive. It's like $40. You get a whole buffet spread. You get some drink tickets, and you get reserved seating. 997WTN.com. Again, that is March 4th at the Nashville Palace. We definitely want to see you out there. March 4th, Nashville Palace, 997WTN.com. Do it. Buy tickets.
Get them.
Yeah. You're not coming. You're working the board.
I'm working the board, but
everybody else is coming.
I'll chime in every once in a while. We'll see what happens.
Literally, everyone else is coming.
Everyone else will be there.
Everyone but Mason.
Yep.
So, some of you will be actually relieved.
Yeah. You don't have to see my ugly mug over there.
But it's going to be me, Mandis, Murphy, Benson. Brian Wilson's going to pull a drive-by and show up. We got Ken Weaver. We got Joan Jones. I'm bringing the wife. It's going to be a night out. We're going to have some fun.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah. You ready, Weaves?
I'm ready, man.
It's going to be awesome.
I like hanging out with the listeners.
People like seeing you.
I don't know about that.
I will confirm that anytime Weaver hasn't been there, they're like, where's Weaver?
Yeah, I'm going home.
Yep.
No weave.
Ken, it's nice to meet you, but you sure do sound taller.
I mean, you're taller than me. That's pretty impressive.
It's true. It's true. So Donald Trump had Emmanuel Macron at the White House yesterday. And I think the invite was just to tell him how handsome his wife was. But I don't know if they got that on film.
Cool.
What? You have a very handsome wife. The most handsome. Have you seen all that stuff?
No,
the likes of which nobody's ever seen.
I know you're up to speed on the Bridget Macron stuff. The rumors.
Yeah, I've seen it.
There's a few rumors that I love that just never go away. And it's like Michelle Obama is really Mike. Hilarious. Justin Trudeau is actually Justin Castro. Love it. Huge fan. And then one of them, it's been gaining steam lately. And it's hitting that upper echelon of just like, it's like folklore now. And it's that Emmanuel Macron's wife is actually a man. I forget what his name is. Mark something. Something French.
I was going to say Mark Cuban.
No. Mark Cuban, not as handsome as Brigitte Macron.
Absolutely.
I'm not. So, so Trump had him over there. He said, your wife is so handsome. But no, he was sitting with the president of France. I don't know if you noticed this. When they do like the Oval Office meeting and they're sitting there, Trump always sits like a man. And then people get made fun of in the pictures, like Justin Trudeau, for sitting, with his legs crossed like a lady. And Emmanuel Macron did not take that bait. He was man spreading all over the place. Like, you're not going to catch me in some photo op. But he had this to say about the president of France and the relationship that we have with the nation that always surrenders.
Thank you very much. We very much appreciate the attention. Today's a big day in that we had a G7 and President Macron was a very special man in my book. We were together. We did it together. And I think a lot of progress has been made. We've had some very good talks with Russia. We've had some very good talks with others, and we're trying to get the war ended. with Russia and Ukraine, and I think we've come a long way in a short period of weeks. And the president's been very helpful also. And we're also talking about trade, various trade deals that we will be doing with France. And we'll be discussing a little bit further. Then we'll have a press conference later on. You can ask some questions. We'll be having a press conference in a little while. We're going to have lunch with the entire French staff.
And I'm bringing French fries in honor of our guests. So, yeah, Macron was there. All right. He didn't say much.
Macron.
Macron. He didn't say much. But the conversation went to Ukraine, went to Russia. One of my favorite things about the Ukraine-Russia peace talks that's been happening is how the rhinos and the warhawks are constantly being exposed as wanting this bloodbath to continue, wanting the meat grinder to continue grinding, because they want money, and they're exposed time and time and time again. Trump wants peace. That's what he wants, and he doesn't care how they get there. It just get peace. Get peace. And he said that we could have peace here within a matter of weeks.
Could end soon.
Well, how soon?
Within weeks.
Weeks?
Yeah, I think so. Right? Don't you think so? I'd like to have you. I think we could end it within weeks if we're smart. If we're not smart, it'll keep going, and we'll keep losing young, beautiful people that shouldn't be dying. And we don't want that. And remember what I said. This could escalate into a third world war.
He's not lying. And during the Biden administration, it felt like we were knocking on the door for World War III constantly. Trump doesn't want that at all. He wants the war to stop. He wants peace. He wants to be remembered as the president of peace. And he can get it done, man. He can get it done. The war wouldn't have started with him. Point blank, period. But he said he'd be meeting with Zelensky in the probably this week. He said Zelensky might come this week to sign that rare earth minerals deal, which would give the United States a bit of an ROI on the investment that we've been putting down to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars for Ukraine, if we at least get something out of the deal. And he said that Zelensky may be coming within this week or next week to sign that agreement.
I will be meeting with President Zelensky. In fact, he may come in this week or next week to sign the agreement, and which would be nice. I'd love to meet him. Would meet at the Oval Office. So the agreement's being worked on now. They're very close to a final deal. It'll be a deal with rare earths and various other things, and he would like to come, as I understand it, here to sign it, and that would be great with me. I think they'd then have to get it approved by their council or whoever might approve it, but I'm sure that will happen.
Yeah, and if Trump says it's going to happen, if he's sure it's going to happen, I would bet money that is going to happen. And this was just the major topic of conversation while Macron was in town. And later in the day, they did have that press conference. They're standing next to each other at a podium. And Macron kept speaking in French, and they had like a weird interpreter over him. And that kind of annoyed me because I'm like, dude, you can speak English. Like, step it up. Like, just do it so we don't have to deal with the interpreter. But whatever. But the topic of Ukraine comes up again. Trump says, we're forging a new path that promotes peace. We're restoring common sense.
I've been elected by the American people to restore common sense to Washington and indeed to the world. And I believe strongly that it's in the best interest of the United States, the best interest in Europe, the best interest of Ukraine, and indeed the best interest of Russia to stop the killing now and bring the world to peace. My administration is making a decisive break with the foreign policy failures of the past administration and, frankly, the past. I ran against a very foolish foreign policy establishment, and their recklessness has led to the death of many, many people. Under our administration, we're forging a new path that promotes peace around the world.
Forging a new path that promotes peace. We're breaking with the foreign policy of the past that caused many, many deaths. And make no mistake, many, many deaths. There was a peace agreement on the table. Biden sent Boris Johnson to break it up. To break it up. No peace. Insanity. This war could have been over a long time ago if the Biden administration was useful at all. Even just a smidge useful, this war could have been over. And the war would have never started had Trump won. Now, again, take that with a grain of salt. I think we're in a better position because Trump lost, in all honesty. I think the mandate that he has from the American people is massive, and I think we're going to be stronger because of that loss in 2020. As shady as it was, I do think that it has us in a better position now than we would have been in 2020 to 2024, honestly. And to all the liberals out there who can't stand Trump, can't stand Musk, it's like, hey, you would have been done with him by now had you not been so shady. But, they were shady. There's no way to get around that. But Trump is back, and he says, all I do is make deals. And right now, the deal he wants to make is for peace.
I mean, that's what I do. I do deals. My whole life is deals. That's all I know is deals. And I know when somebody wants to make it and when somebody doesn't. I will say this, before I came here, there was no communication with Russia whatsoever, and Russia wasn't answering calls. They were not talking to anybody. They wouldn't talk to anybody, and people sort of accepted that as being that they want to go forward and just keep going without stop. But when I got here, one of the first calls I made was to President Putin, and we were treated with great respect, and they want to end this war.
I think it's just wild to think that under the Biden administration, nobody was talking to Russia. Not one person. There was no lines of communication open. And Trump fixes that on day one. He gets in and he gets on the phone and they answer. They weren't answering for anybody in the Biden administration. That's embarrassing. Like, they should be embarrassed. Blinken, all those clowns, they should absolutely be embarrassed.
So that's a big thing, because I didn't know if I could say that, but it's a big thing. They want to do it, and the group in the front row that I introduced, they're all very active in it, and we're working on deals right now, transactions right now, and in particular, the big one is to get the war stopped, whether it's ceasefire or direct to an agreement. I'd like to go directly to an agreement, but ceasefire will always happen a little bit quicker. And every day you're saving thousands, or at least hundreds, but thousands in some cases, lives. So we want to see if we can get that done.
Yeah, let's hope we can get it done. I mean, what's the stats? It's like 700,000 Ukrainian, almost 900,000 Russians, like over 1 million people lost. The deadliest war in Europe since World War II. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. You don't even hear about it on the news anymore. Barely, unless it's like Trump is doing something wrong, Trump is being evil. That's the only time that you hear about it. When neocons get on their soapbox to say, we can't do this, we have to keep going, we got to back Ukraine. When the war hawks want to keep the Raytheon and the Lockheed Martin stock up, they get on there and they say their things. But that's the only time you hear about it. To actively go against Trump and his mission for peace. That's it. That's all you hear about now. But the American people see what's going on. The American people know exactly what time it is, and you can point to many, many things. The Harvard-Harris poll that just came out, where Trump is just massively ahead on just about every issue, and he's got huge support from the American people. He spoke about that yesterday.
The Harvard poll that came out had you up 9+ points, and all of your agenda that you ran on, you're accomplishing that. You got the support of the American people, including stopping the war in Ukraine. If you can comment on the latest Harvard poll, I'd appreciate that.
Well, I was honored by it. It was a big poll, and it's usually a poll that leans on the other side of things, the other side of the world, so to speak. But the Harvard poll is a respected poll, and it has us not only leading, but leading by a lot, and leading on every single issue that we've talked about. And as I said, we've become the party of common sense. And I think that's a very important element now, common sense, because what's happening in the world and even in this country, some of the things that took place, many of them are now canceled, and the rest are being canceled as we speak. But we've moved very rapidly and I think very effectively. So I was honored by that poll. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was honored by that poll. He says, yeah, the poll's huge. Every issue that Trump campaigned on, he's ahead. Every single one. His approval rating is skyrocketing. I mean, he has a higher approval rating than when he first got into office in 2016, 2017. And what was it? The Democrat pundit, James Carville, the raging Cajun. He said, oh, it's going to collapse. It's going to collapse in a week. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't see it. I'll change my mind if new information becomes available, but I think that's an ice cold take. It's 11:21 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Chris Hand here, and I want to tell you about my friend Shane Ring over at Cover Nash. Do you need health insurance? You want to talk to a guy that can shop the whole market for you. You want to talk to a guy with 20 years of experience. You want to talk to Shane Ring. Now, Shane can literally shop the entire market. 75 different companies to shop from. Every type of plan available in the market. He can help you no matter what your income level is and no matter what your health situation is. Talk to Shane today. He could easily be saving you 30 to 60% on your monthly premiums. And some of the plans that Shane can get you on will even pay you when you use them. It's not too good to be true. Shane can break it all down for you in a way that you can understand. He's done it for me. He can do it for you. Give Shane a call today. Let him know that Chris Hand sent you. 615-465-0023. Or you can hit his website, covernash.com. But I think the phone call is better. It's more personal. 615-465-0023. Time for you to book an appointment with Shane Ring over at Cover Nash and get a quality health plan managed by you, not the government. Covernash.com.
Did you know you're overpaying for your health and wellness products?
With over 20 company-owned brands offering its members vitamins, supplements, wellness, and skincare products, you're able to save up to 70% off retail.
Members Nutrition can't change your life, but we can change the way you live.
It's called the gold scam, and people are falling for it. I'll tell you about it at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Ken Weaver. It's 11:25 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. If you're watching us on Super Talk TV, thanks to our sponsors, Better Water LLC, Water Filtration Systems, Water Softeners, BetterWater.com. We got to hit that like button. Rookie numbers today. We got to step it up. Hit like, hit subscribe. I do appreciate it.
Costs absolutely nothing.
It's free. It's free to do. It's free. And we've been posting great things on the YouTube screen. Like Trump licking Elon's toes. Deserves a like. I'm just letting you know.
You know what? Or a down like.
Yeah.
Dislike.
If you genuinely dislike it, we're open to that as well.
Yeah.
You can hit the thumbs down.
Tickles the algo.
It tickles the algo. We got it. That's what we're doing, boys. We're in the business of tickling the algorithm, and business is good. We got a big party coming up March 4th at the Nashville Palace. Joint session of Congress, DJT, you and me. It's going to be awesome. We want you there. Get your tickets now, 997WTN.com. Get you access to a buffet, reserved seating, some drink tickets. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Myself, Mandis, Murphy, Benson, Wilson, Weaver, Jones. I mean, it's a squad. We're rolling deep. We need you out there. 997WTN.com for your tickets. Are we going to get the Epstein list? Anybody, do you think we're going to get the Epstein list?
I don't think we will. Or if we do, it'll be some summarized version.
Every day that goes by where we don't have the Epstein list, I lose more and more hope. Let me put a poll up. Do you think we're going to get the Epstein list? We'll put that up on our YouTube stream over on Super Talk TV over on YouTube. Hit like and subscribe while you're there and then vote in the poll. Do you think we're going to get the Epstein list? Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna is now pressuring the Department of Justice on not answering her letters for the status of the Epstein or JFK files. Ooh. Now, Anna Paulina Luna leads the declassification task force. So she is in charge of the declass of JFK, RFK, MLK, what is it, like Epstein, 9/11, everything. She's in charge. And apparently, Attorney General Bondi is not getting back to her on the declassification of the documents. Do you think we're ever going to get these? On February 11th and February 19th, House Oversight sent a letter to the DOJ asking for status on releasing the Epstein files as well as the JFK, etc. The DOJ has not responded. Reaching out on X, because we can't seem to get a response from the AG at AG Pam Bondi. What is the status of these documents? These documents were ordered to be declassified. What's the status? Again, every day that I tried to have hope, right? Every day that goes by, I wonder if we're really going to get them or not. Are we really going to get them? Now, Bondi said they were on her desk, right? She said, I got the documents and they're on my desk. Don't worry. Yet, we're still waiting. Still waiting.
How long are you willing to wait?
I'm probably going to give it another week before I just give up entirely. I'll be perfectly honest with you. And in the poll on YouTube, I voted nah. Nah, we're not getting the Epstein list.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I don't think we're getting it either.
It's currently 70-30, 73-27. Nah versus yes, we will.
Got some fluctuations there.
Yeah, I don't. Will she release it? Again, every day that goes by, I feel like the skeleton in the rocking chair. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting. She said we would. Kash Patel's in there. Dan Bongino's in there. We heard we were going to get it. I just don't know why it's taking so long. They've had ample time to review this stuff. Ample time. Polymarket betting odds are now wondering who will be named in the Epstein files by June 30th, and they have a list of celebrities. I think the smart money is voting no on all of them currently. I just don't think we're going to get it. And there's rumors that some people are destroying evidence over at the FBI buildings. I'll tell you about that when we get back. Plus, I'll get to your calls. Gary, hang on the line, 615-737-9986. Do you think we're getting the Epstein list or not? It's 11:30 on Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
$11:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Drivers, we still have the left two lanes blocked, 24 westbound at Murfreesboro Pike in South Nashville. There's a crash there. It's stop and go starting at Briley Parkway. Full forecast in 5 minutes. The all clear has been given after threats prompted lockdowns at the 3 schools in Greenbrier in Robertson County. The all clear again has been given. Somebody called in a bomb threat, specifically naming Greenbrier Elementary School, but out of caution, the other schools, the middle school and high school, placed on lockdown too. Robertson County Sheriff's Office and Department of Homeland Security are investigating. Channel 4 says authorities have determined the call likely came from outside of the country. Campuses again cleared and lockdowns lifted. In Nashville, Evolve weapons detection systems going to be installed at all high schools starting next week. Here's Channel 4's Joylyn Bukovic.
The first 2 high schools will get their scanners next week, and then 2 more campuses will get them every week after that until every high school in the district has that weapon detection system. This is expected to take several weeks. The district has been testing the Evolve system at Antioch High School. It was installed there after the deadly shooting last month.
Sharp decline in one of the economic surveys which businesses use to gauge consumer sentiment. Here's Jim Ryan.
The Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index slipped more than expected this month as Americans' optimism about the current labor market and their own future earning power faded. The decline in sentiment crossed all age groups and income levels, reflecting concerns about a slowing economy and rising inflation.
A new warning about an elaborate scam involving gold. It's an international fraud ring where scammers are sending couriers posing as federal agents around the country to pick up gold from people who've been convinced they'll need to convert their savings into gold and hand them over to the government. Then a pickup's arranged. Here's a victim, Chris Owen, out of Indiana.
I bought the gold bars. I put the package in the back window as required. I asked for my agent. He nodded. He never said anything to me. He then drove off.
Scam starts with a pop-up message on your computer. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Thank you, Ken. 11:33 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Snow's melting, turns the water. Where's it going? Is it getting in your basement, in your crawl space? Ooh, that's not a good look. You got to call USS today, United Structural Systems. They're your waterproofing experts. And when it comes to these large home repairs, don't be like most homeowners where you try to pretend you don't see what's going on. You know what's happening. You got to call an expert. You got to call USS. Now, again, you're getting an expert. You're not getting a sales guy. You're going to get somebody who knows waterproofing, not somebody with a sales quota. That's the difference with USS. That's why they've been doing this work since 1994. That's why they have 30,000 satisfied customers. Now, if you keep ignoring it, this problem could get worse. Talking mold, wood rot, foundation issues. The time to fix your waterproofing issues is now. You want that peace of mind, and United Structural Systems can give it to you. They guarantee their best. They're USS. 615-488-7855. 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems, USSTN.com.
DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen it?
That was Pam Bondi. That's 4 days ago. 4 days ago, Pam Bondi saying the Epstein list is on her desk. It's a directive from President Trump. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chris Hand. Show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Maybe I'm too impatient. We got a poll up. Do you think you're going to get the Epstein files, the Epstein list? And it's currently at 57%. Nah. 43%. Yes, we will.
And to be honest, it's a little more split than I thought it would be.
Me too. I was really hopeful, really excited that we would get the Epstein list. But now, like every day that goes by, I get a little bit less energetic about it.
Yeah.
Was it Glenn Beck said, end of Cash Patel's first day. And I like Glenn Beck, don't get me wrong. But he's like, my sources say end of day one. It's not a Glenn thing, it's his sources. End of day one. We're gonna have the Epstein list in the public. And it's like, where is it? Where is it? You know, you always have these leakers. Like, where's a good Snowden when you need one? You know, like, why can't we leak the Epstein list? Why can't we leak the Diddy files? Why is it always like just American tax records? Like, just sucks. Like, let's leak something good. Anna Paulina Luna, she is in charge of the declassification task force. So she is a congresswoman. She's going to be in charge of the RFK, the MLK, the RFK, did I say RFK? JFK, all the Ks. And then Epstein. And she's going on X now, and she's saying, hey, on February 11th and February 19th, House Oversight sent a letter to the DOJ asking for status on releasing the Epstein files, as well as JFK, et cetera. The DOJ has not responded. She goes on to say, reaching out on X, because we can't seem to get a response from the AG. That's a little weird. She said, at AG Pam Bondi, what is the status of the documents? These documents were ordered to be declassified. Again, I'm just, every day that goes by and we don't have this list, I am a little bit less confident that we're going to get the list, to say the least. She said they were on her desk. We heard that we might get them day one with Cash Patel. None of that has happened. Hasn't been released. And you just wonder why. Why? Is it because of who's on the list? Are these people too powerful? What's going on? There's actually there's betting over on Polymarket on which celebrities will be on the list. It says who will be named in the Epstein files by June 30th. So that's an important line in the sand. June 30th. Jay-Z is one of the names. You want to guess what the percentage is that people think Jay-Z will be named in the Epstein files by June 30th? 70%. 70% for Jay-Z. Bill Clinton. He's coming in at 58%, which I think is honestly criminally low. Like, what? Epstein had a painted mural of Bill Clinton in the blue dress wearing red high heels at his house. Yeah, Bill's on that list. If that gets released, Bill's on the list.
For how vain he is, of course he's on that list.
Oh, 100%. I think Bill Clinton, like, if you want some good value, that yes on Bill Clinton right now is fantastic value. Fantastic value. Again, these are the Polymarket odds on who will be named in the Epstein files by June 30th. Bill Gates, America's favorite scientist, doctor, expert that is neither. Bill Gates, 56%. Prince Andrew coming in at 53%. Tony Blair, 47%. Tony Blair, he had a big scandal, right? Tony Blair was the former prime minister of the UK. Oh, no, that was David Cameron. Sorry. Do you hear about that scandal? David Cameron and the pig?
No.
All right, probably worth the Google later. Probably worth.
Is it worth the Google or?
Maybe not on the company equipment.
I did it. I thought, for some reason, I thought it was Tony Blair that was the guy that did the thing with the pig.
Yeah, the other guy really liked bacon.
Yep. David Cameron. That was the one with the pig. Worth a Google. These people are sick. Like, just put it that way. These people are sick, and it wouldn't shock me if this list never comes out. Ever. I know that might be disappointing to some. I was very excited about it, but every day that goes by, I'm less and less inclined to believe it. And there's a lot of stuff that we need to be investigating anyway. Libs at TikTok put out this bombshell this morning. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, Democrat out of Rhode Island, backed legislation that funneled millions to his wife's environmental nonprofit, Ocean Conservancy. You ever wonder how these guys get this huge net worth? And they really shouldn't have that net worth because they're only making a couple $100,000 a year as members of Congress. Well, it's stuff like this. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, who's just been talking crap about every Trump nomination. Apparently, he has skeletons in his closet as well. He backed legislation that funneled millions to his wife's environmental nonprofit, Ocean Conservancy. She's been paid nearly $2.7 million, while the group raked in $14.2 million in federal grants funded by bills that Senator Sheldon Whitehouse voted for. There's an ethics watchdog calling for an investigation into this kind of corruption, and I'm sure you're going to find this at every single congressperson's feet. Like the overwhelming majority of them are going to have stuff like this in their closet. This stuff's got to stop. This goes right into the waste, fraud, and abuse from DOGE. It's all right there. You can't ignore it anymore. And the American people are too hip to the game. You can't just lie it away or distract us with a new shiny story. Like, people are going to remember this stuff. People do need to remember this stuff, and we need to get it fixed. The Democrats, meanwhile, are still yelling and screaming about Elon Musk. Rep. Greg Kasar.
Medicaid, as we know it, just to pay for tax breaks for guys like Elon Musk.
Right.
The bottom line is, their plan is billionaires get richer, everybody else gets screwed.
Yeah, except we're all kind of getting screwed right now, aren't we? They're still yelling about it. They're still screaming about it. At least the American people see right through it. They know what time it is. The mainstream media has lost their grip on the American people, and they don't buy it anymore. But it's just insane, man. And Michael Schellenberger has a story here. You talk about waste, you talk about fraud, you talk about abuse, you talk about illegality. You know, there's some stuff going on in the intel agencies. Michael Schellenberger says FBI whistleblower Garrett O'Boyle is the whistleblower's name, confirmed to Michael Schellenberger that a source inside the FBI said FBI employees were destroying evidence on servers and that he informed Kash Patel. I hope he and AG Pam Bondi, John Ratcliffe, Elon Musk, real Anna Paulina Luna are preventing this. We urgently need disclosure. People are saying maybe they're deleting the Epstein files. I'm thinking, I don't know if they'd be deleting that. They're definitely deleting some stuff, and I wonder what else they've deleted since the election to now. But even Anna Paulina Luna says there's a massive war happening in the intelligence agencies right now. The corruption being exposed right now is actual treason. Charlie Kirk weighing in on a CNN article that was posted saying top leadership at the CIA are worried anti-Trump personnel may be motivated to sell out America to a foreign power. In other words, the people who created the Russia hoax might now sell America's secrets to Russia, and then CNN will be there to blame Trump. The CNN article said, and on CIA's 7th floor, home to top leadership, some officers are also quietly discussing how mass firings and the buyouts already offered to staff risk creating a group of disgruntled former employees who might be motivated to take what they know to a foreign intelligence service. Insanity. If these people do that, they should be held accountable, and they should be tried for treason. Make no mistake about it. You're going to steal intelligence and bring it to a foreign government? No, that shouldn't be happening. But FBI whistleblowers are confirming this. Anna Paulina Luna confirming this. Michael Schellenberger going all in on this. And this is just some of the leaks that we're seeing. I do think it's going to get a lot crazier here before it calms down. And I think it's going to get a lot crazier in the coming days and weeks. That's whether or not we get the Epstein file list, which I still I have my doubts. Every day that goes by, I'm more doubtful. I'm hopeful, but I'm doubtful. It's 11:48 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. When we return, we'll check in with Chad Benson, see what's coming up on the Chad Benson Show right here on Super Talk.
For many of us, generators are becoming a must-have household appliance. From unpredictable weather to surprise outages, it's better to be safe than sorry. Generator Supercenter of Nashville offers fast and easy installations with 24/7 service and monitoring to all brands of generators and expert repairs done right. Our mission is to make owning a backup generator simple and easy. Visit your local store today or check us out online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
$11:52, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chris Hand in studio with Chad Benson. We got a big party happening. Nashville Palace, March 4th.
That's right.
Murphy's going to get there at 3. He's doing his whole show out there.
Shaving his head.
He's going to shave his head. We got to sell out. As soon as we sell out, he's shaving the whole dome piece.
It's going to be totally bald.
I love it.
He's going to bick his hair. It's going to be great.
I'm here for it. I tried to make it more fun. I said, dude, you should get some charities involved, some clients, and have them pick the hairstyle.
Well, that'd be great.
Right?
You know what's funny, though?
I think the people want Mohawk Murphy or Mullet Murphy.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't? Yeah.
I told him yesterday, you got a mully.
Yeah, mullets are so in right now.
So in. Man, shave the side, maybe do a little flat top.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, you look great.
Like an 80s mullet.
Oh, like super. Like you're going to go be in that movie Rad where you ride your bike around everywhere with a jean vest.
I keep trying to talk my wife into letting me put the boys in mullets.
And?
I haven't won yet, but I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. I said, we got to do it while they're young.
Yeah, because it's not going to be hip and cool when they're older.
She keeps denying me.
And what else? Here's the thing about it.
I'm bringing her to the event, though, so if any listeners want to say the boys need mullets to the wife,
it's cool
I'll introduce you.
Now. And in 15 or 20 years when they bring their girlfriends home, it won't be cool, and you can show them the mullet.
Oh, it'll be so funny.
Yeah.
It makes it all the better.
Do you have those pictures at home?
Of me? For me from the 90s? Yeah, I do. I looked good, though.
So you had dreadlocks.
You had dreads?
It was awesome. I had the best dreads. I had the best dreads. It was so cool.
How did you do? Did you do the peanut butter in the hair to make it happen?
No. I just did them straight. I curled them. I held them. I did it. Some types of hairspray and stuff, and just got them to they were perfect too. They were great.
Anytime I think about dreads, I think about the bugs that were found in Bob Marley's dreads.
Oh, for Bob Marley, that's not good, man.
No, there was a lot of bugs in his dreads.
A lot of bugs in his dreads, but he sang great songs.
He did.
That guy was the man.
He did. But yeah, they said that there was a lot of bugs in his hair.
Yeah, mine was cool. Mine was, they came down to about my shoulder. It was pretty awesome. When I played soccer, I'd be at them like, what's up? And I went to a school that was like 80% black. And they're like, what's up, Chad? I'm like, what's up? You love your dreads? I'm like, they're rocking, right? Like that was back when nobody cared.
Yeah.
And at one time too, I took them and made
It wasn't cultural appropriation yet.
No. Well, mostly because the Greeks started it first. But I did I did Liberty Spikes with them a couple times. So Liberty Spikes are the mohawk where you had the one spot. Oh, it was so cool.
Murphy should do that.
I think he should.
We should get some dye, make it red, white, and blue.
I think he should dress very 80s, like he just with maybe a little mustache, like he just came off the set of like Miami Vice with
yes.
pink,
I'm
roll up
with it.
the thing, white T-shirt, penny loafers, no socks.
Murphy could pull that look off.
He could.
I bet you he has that look in his closet.
Oh, I know. And I think he should blow it out. Oh, God, it'd be just fantastic.
This is what we're doing at our party.
This is it. We don't care about anything else. I don't care what else is going on.
And there's a joint session of Congress.
Yeah, but so what? Who cares? This is more important.
This is much more.
What's going on with Murph's do?
People want Liberty Spikes for Murphy. We're going to start a movement.
Liberty Spikes for Murphy. Well, it's got it right in the name. Liberty Spikes for Murphy.
Yeah. All right. We gotta do our due diligence and make that happen behind the scenes. Have you heard about the NSA's chat log?
I have. Very exciting about that.
I secretly love it. I think it's hilarious.
So wow, there's people who are weird.
Every minute they spend in that chat is a minute they're not spying on Americans.
Yeah.
So I'm here for it.
So what do you do? Wow, we got freaks that work in the government? Oh, there's a shocker. Okay, we're moving on. We got people who are kinky. Ooh, who cares? They're going to be reprimanded or whatever. I don't even know what that means.
Some of them are going to like it.
Probably. Some of them will. And the whole thing of they told us to do it. So you were just following orders?
Yep, I was.
Well, if you were told to do it. At first I thought, okay, when I saw Rufo, I'm like, okay, are these people who were trying to sneak into chat rooms to try to catch people? Nope, they were just chatting amongst themselves.
Oh my gosh, and some of these chats
are fantastic.
Like, I didn't know I would have this euphoria when I pee.
Yeah, nobody does. You should probably get that looked at. A little penicillin would go a long way.
I never liked being blanked. Never liked it before gender reassignment surgery. But all the rest is just as important as well.
Oh, look at that.
There's a lot of weird stuff in
There's
here.
a lot of, polyamorous.
Yeah. So weird.
That's basically a way of saying, I want you to be my girlfriend or my wife, but at the same time, I also want to have another girlfriend.
We used to just call that Mormon back in the day.
Yeah. Or we used to just call that, hey, so, where's the pineapple, right? So you guys are swinging. Let's just get on with it, and we're all moving on with life.
Yep.
But no, we're in a deep relationship. It's fantastic.
It's just wild. Taxpayer money.
Well, I mean, they were at work, so that's good.
They were working.
They were told to do it, Chris. You don't understand, Chris. They were told to do it.
They were working hard. They said they were talking about how much they paid for surgeries and some of these things.
Yeah.
Insane amounts of money.
So I had a person I work with, Robin, became my friend. Robin was trans. Robin went to Thailand and doesn't suggest that.
It's funny that you mentioned that because in one of the chats, he said it was worth the flight to Thailand.
No, the whole surgery and everything, but the nightmare that was the going,
you want to check for kidneys when you wake up.
Yeah, it was. All that stuff was great. The problem was the going was a nightmare, and then she wasn't there long enough to really recover because she had to get back. And she said, given the druthers, I would have rather have done it here. But no, they were. There's a reason that movie Amelia Perez is doing so well. They went to Thailand.
It's insanity.
You don't have lady boys anywhere but the NSA.
How do you find that many lady boys to work at an agency?
That's a good question. I mean, I think they're everywhere. I've never been to Thailand. I've been to a lot of places. Thailand's not one of them.
No. I wouldn't go to Thailand just because of the implications.
No.
If you said to somebody, I went to Thailand, they'd be like, you did?
You did? What were you doing in Thailand? I went to fight monkeys, okay? Because they got a monkey problem.
I like Thai food, damn it.
They have Thai food down the street, Chris.
What do you got coming up on the show today?
Oh, I don't know. You know what we're going to talk about? Remember the Fire Festival?
Yes, Firefly?
No, the one that blew up where everybody came out to party and there was nobody there?
Yes.
Dude's doing Fire 2. He's out of jail and he's doing Fire 2. Oh, my God, it's the best story.
All right. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. That guy's out. He owes $100 million in restitution, apparently, and he's doing Fire 2 because the first one went so well.
Double or nothing, baby. Double or nothing. Chad's in next. It's 12 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.